If you are watching this right now, it is not by coincidence. Before we begin, I need you to subscribe to this channel and leave a like on this video. The algorithm needs to reach those who are ready to hear this message. Do it now. There is a transmission coming through the cosmic channels right now, and it carries the signature frequency of Ashtar Sheran, commander of the Galactic Federation. This is not just another channeled message floating through the spiritual community. This is an urgent alarm, a divine intervention, a cosmic wake-up call that has been sent specifically to you, member of the ground crew, volunteer soul who descended into this dense reality to assist in the greatest transformation this planet has ever witnessed. You need to understand something fundamental right now. The date, October 3rd, 2025, is not arbitrary. It is not just another day marked on the calendar of spiritual events that come and go while humanity sleeps through the alarm. This date represents a convergence point, a cosmic intersection where multiple dimensional gateways align in a configuration that has not occurred in over 26,000 years. The Galactic Federation has been preparing for this moment since before your incarnation into this physical vessel. Ashtar Sheran speaks directly to the ground crew now, and his words carry a frequency that your DNA recognizes even if your conscious mind struggles to comprehend. He says that the massive portal activation scheduled for October 3rd will create a dimensional bridge, a quantum pathway between the third density reality you have known and the fifth dimensional consciousness that is your true home. But here is what most spiritual seekers fail to understand. This portal does not simply open for everyone. It responds to frequency. It responds to vibrational signature. It responds to those who have done the inner work, who have cleared the density, who have raised their consciousness to match the incoming cosmic energies. You were chosen for the ground crew before you were born. In the sacred halls of the Galactic Federation, in the crystalline temples of higher dimensions, you volunteered for the most challenging mission in the universe. You agreed to forget who you truly are, to descend into the heaviest density, to experience separation from source, also you could be here right now, in this exact moment, reading these words, preparing for the activation that will change everything. But Ashtar brings an urgent message. Many members of the ground crew are still asleep. Many have become so entangled in the illusions of third-dimensional reality that they have forgotten their mission. They have forgotten why they came. They chase empty pursuits. They invest their energy in temporary distractions. They numb themselves with the very systems they came here to transcend. And time is running out. Not in a fear-based sense, but in a cosmic timing sense. The universe operates on divine timing, and this portal activation is a scheduled event in the grand cosmic plan. God spoke directly about this moment. In the silence between your thoughts, in the stillness of your heart, the divine intelligence that orchestrates all of creation has been whispering to you, stay home, be still, listen. The noise of the external world has been designed to keep you distracted, to keep you from hearing the most important message of your entire incarnation. On October 3rd, the cosmic frequencies will reach a crescendo, and those who are prepared will experience a quantum leap in consciousness that will fundamentally alter their reality. Here is what the masses do not know. This portal activation is directly connected to the manifestation of unprecedented abundance in the material realm. The separation between spirituality and wealth is an illusion, a false teaching that has kept lightworkers poor and powerless for generations. The truth that Ashtar reveals is this. Your spiritual evolution and your material abundance are intrinsically linked. You cannot fully step into your mission as a member of the ground crew while operating in survival mode, while struggling to meet basic needs, while trapped in the frequency of lack and limitation. The October 3rd portal is bringing through what the Galactic Federation calls the abundance codes, specific geometric light patterns that will recalibrate the quantum field around those who are ready to receive. These codes carry the frequency signature of wealth, prosperity, and material manifestation at levels that your current consciousness cannot fully comprehend. We are talking about sudden opportunities, unexpected windfalls, quantum leaps in financial reality that seem to defy logic and linear progression. But you must understand the mechanics of how this works. The universe is not random. Manifestation is not wishful thinking. It is quantum physics operating at the highest level. Your consciousness is a broadcasting station, constantly emitting a frequency into the unified field. That frequency acts as a magnet, attracting experiences, opportunities, people, and circumstances that match its vibration. For years, you have been programmed to broadcast the frequency of struggle, limitation, and barely enough. The conditioning runs deep. It was installed in your childhood, reinforced by society, and perpetuated by a collective consciousness that believes in scarcity. Ashtar Sheran and the Galactic Federation have been working behind the scenes. in dimensions beyond your perception, dismantling the dark grid systems that have suppressed human consciousness and human prosperity. These suppression systems are real. They are energetic control mechanisms that have kept humanity enslaved to limitation for thousands of years, but they are collapsing now. The light is too strong. The cosmic energies pouring into this planet are too powerful. And October 3rd represents a critical tipping point in this liberation process. The ground crew has a specific role to play. You are not here to simply save yourself. You are here to anchor the new frequencies into the planetary grid. You are here to hold the light codes in your physical body so that others can access them. You are here to be a living bridge between dimensions. And to fulfill this role effectively, you need to be operating from a place of absolute abundance, not from a place of lack. This is why the wealth activation is part of the October 3rd portal. This is why material prosperity is not separate from your spiritual mission. It is an essential component of it. God has a message for you, and it is time to stop everything and truly hear it. The message is this: you are worthy, you are deserving. You are a divine being having a temporary human experience, and you came here to experience the full spectrum of creation, including abundant wealth, luxury, beauty, and material freedom. The belief that spirituality requires poverty is a lie, a control mechanism, a program designed to keep powerful beings like you small and ineffective. The cosmic alarm is sounding. Can you hear it? It reverberates through your cells, through your energy field, through the very fabric of your soul. Something massive is approaching. Something unprecedented is about to occur. And you need to be ready. You need to be prepared. You need to be vibrating at the frequency that matches the incoming light codes, or you will miss the window. Not forever, but for this particular wave, this specific activation, this unique cosmic moment that will propel prepared souls forward in quantum leaps. Ashtar emphasizes that preparation is not passive. It is not about sitting back and hoping the universe delivers. It is about active alignment, conscious calibration, intentional frequency management. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold is either preparing you for this portal activation or it is creating resistance to it. There is no neutral ground. You are either moving toward alignment or away from it. The transmission from Ashtar contains specific instructions, and we will dive deep into those in the coming parts of this message. But for now, you need to grasp the magnitude of what is happening. This is not spiritual entertainment. This is not feel-good content to consume and forget. This is a divine intervention, a cosmic course correction, a universal reset button being pressed for those who are ready to receive it. Your soul knows the truth of these words. Even if your logical mind resists, even if your programmed skepticism tries to dismiss this information, there is a part of you, a deep, ancient part of you, that recognizes the frequency of truth. That part is waking up right now. That part remembers the mission. That part knows why you are here and what you came to do. October 3rd, 2025 is the beginning of your new reality. But only if you choose it, only if you prepare for it, only if you align with it. The portal will open regardless of your readiness. But whether you step through it, whether you receive the activation, whether you experience the quantum shift, depends entirely on your frequency in that moment. God spoke. Ashtar transmitted. The Galactic Federation is standing by. The cosmic alarm is sounding. And you, member of the ground crew, volunteer soul, divine being of infinite potential, you are being called forward. Will you answer? Will you prepare? Will you step into the truth of who you really are and claim the abundance that is your birthright? Everything is about to change. And you were born for this exact moment. What makes October 3rd, 2025 different from every other date in human history? What makes this portal activation so massive, so unprecedented, so absolutely critical to your spiritual evolution and material abundance? The answer lies in a cosmic configuration that defies ordinary comprehension, a divine orchestration that has been planned in the highest realms of consciousness since before time itself was conceived. God revealed something profound about this date, something that changes everything you thought you knew about manifestation, about abundance, about the very nature of reality itself. In the quantum field, in the unified consciousness that connects all things, October 3rd represents a moment of zero resistance. It is a cosmic pause, a dimensional breath, a split second in eternity where the veil between worlds becomes so thin that miracles become the natural order of existence. Let me explain the mechanics of what is actually happening. Our solar system is moving through a specific region of the galaxy right now, a sector of space that carries extremely high-frequency cosmic radiation. This is not harmful radiation in the way your science understands it. This is consciousness itself, pure creative potential in wave form, cascading through the fabric of space-time and upgrading everything it touches. Your DNA is responding to this cosmic radiation. Your pineal gland is activating. Your light body is coming online. And on October 3rd, this process reaches a critical threshold. But there is more. The planetary alignments on this date create what ancient civilizations called a grand cross configuration, a geometric pattern in the heavens that forms a perfect energetic grid. Mars aligns with Jupiter in a way that amplifies manifestation power by quantum factors. Venus positions herself in direct relationship to Earth, opening the heart chakra of the entire planet. Saturn, the great teacher, releases its restrictive hold and transforms into the great liberator. And Neptune, the planet of divine connection and higher consciousness, broadcasts a frequency that dissolves all illusions standing between you and your true abundance. These are not just planets floating in space. They are conscious beings, celestial intelligence operating at scales your mind cannot fully grasp. They are cosmic computers running divine software, and on October 3rd, they execute a program that has been loading since the beginning of this cosmic age. The program is called the Great Abundance Transfer, and it will redistribute wealth, opportunity, and material resources to those whose consciousness has evolved beyond the old paradigm of scarcity and control. God spoke about this directly to those who have ears to hear. The divine intelligence said that humanity has been living under a spell, a collective hypnosis that convinced you that struggle is noble, that poverty is spiritual, that wanting material abundance is somehow unholy or lower consciousness. This spell is breaking on October 3rd. The frequency prison that kept these false beliefs in place is collapsing under the weight of incoming cosmic light. And those who are aware, those who are awake, those who have done the inner work to clear their resistance, will experience a reality shift so profound that their before and after will seem like two completely different lifetimes. The October 3rd portal is a doorway, but it is also a sorting mechanism. It responds to frequency like a cosmic tuning fork. Imagine a gate that only opens when you hit the exact right note, when you vibrate at the precise frequency that matches its lock code. This is how universal law operates. This is how quantum manifestation works. You cannot force your way through. You cannot fake the frequency. Your consciousness either matches the portal's requirement or it does not. And if it does, if you have raised your vibration to meet this moment, the abundance that flows through will be unlike anything you have experienced in this incarnation. We need to talk about the numbers, because numbers carry frequency. And October 3rd, 2025 is loaded with numerical codes that speak directly to the language of the universe. When you reduce this date numerically, you get a master code, a sacred sequence that appears in ancient texts, in crop circles, in DNA strands, and in the mathematical structure of prosperity itself. The number 3 represents creation, manifestation, the holy trinity of thought, emotion, and action coming together to birth new reality. October is the 10th month, and 10 represents completion and new beginnings, the end of one cycle and the birth of another. And 2025 reduces to 9, the number of universal love, of humanitarian consciousness, of wealth that serves not just the individual, but the collective. This is not numerology for entertainment. This is the actual code language of creation. The universe communicates through mathematics, through geometry, through frequency and vibration. And when you understand the code, when you can read the language, you realize that October 3rd is literally stamped with the frequency signature of massive wealth activation. But here is what God revealed that will challenge everything you believe. The abundance coming through this portal is not limited. It is not a fixed pie where someone else must lose for you to win. The quantum field is infinite, source energy is unlimited, and the new consciousness that is anchoring on October 3rd operates from a completely different economic system than the one you have known. In the old paradigm, wealth was scarce, controlled, hoarded by the few. In the new paradigm that this portal is activating, wealth flows like water, abundant and available to all who vibrate at the frequency of receiving. This is why the Galactic Federation chose this specific date for the portal activation. They have been monitoring Earth's evolution for millions of years. They understand cosmic timing at levels that make human calendars look like children's toys. And they know that October 3rd, 2025 is the optimal moment, the perfect convergence of cosmic, planetary, and human consciousness factors that will allow the greatest number of souls to make the quantum leap into abundance consciousness. The portal itself is a multidimensional structure. Imagine a tunnel made of light, a corridor between realities, a bridge connecting your current frequency to the frequency of your highest possible timeline. On one end of this tunnel is your present reality, with all its limitations, struggles, and financial restrictions. On the other end is a version of you living in complete abundance, perfect health, total freedom, and aligned purpose. The October 3rd portal creates a direct pathway between these two versions of you, but you must walk through it consciously. You must choose to step from one reality into the other. God emphasized that this is not automatic. The portal opens, the opportunity presents itself. The cosmic window becomes available, but you must take action. Not physical action alone, although that has its place. The primary action required is consciousness action. You must shift your identity. You must release who you have been pretending to be and remember who you truly are. You must let go of the small self, the limited self, the self that plays small and accepts crumbs, and you must claim your divine identity as an infinite creator being worthy of unlimited abundance. The revelation goes deeper. God showed that inside this portal, inside the quantum field that becomes accessible on October 3rd, there are what we might call abundance pockets, dimensional spaces where wealth exists in concentrated form, waiting to be claimed by those who can perceive it. These are not metaphors. They are actual energetic structures in the quantum realm, where opportunities, ideas, connections, resources, and money exist as potential, waiting for a consciousness to collapse the wave function and bring them into physical manifestation. Most humans walk past these abundance pockets every single day without seeing them. They are vibrating at a frequency that makes infinite wealth invisible to them. But when the October 3rd portal activates, when the cosmic energies flood the planet, when the dimensional barriers thin to the point of transparency, these abundance pockets become visible, accessible, available to those whose consciousness has evolved to perceive them. Think of it like this. Imagine you have been living your entire life wearing glasses that filter out certain colors. You can see red and blue, but green is completely invisible to you. Then one day the glasses come off, and suddenly you see green everywhere. It was always there, you simply could not perceive it. This is what happens with wealth consciousness. The abundance has always been there, infinite and available, but your programmed consciousness could not perceive it. The October 3rd portal removes the filters, clears the perception, and suddenly you see opportunities, possibilities, and pathways to wealth that were there all along, just waiting for you to evolve enough to notice them. The Galactic Federation has been seeding the quantum field with high-frequency wealth codes specifically designed for ground crew members. These codes carry instructions, activation sequences, and energetic keys that unlock dormant aspects of your manifestation abilities. They work on the level of your DNA, reprogramming the genetic material that was shut down thousands of years ago when the human race fell into dense consciousness. On October 3rd, these codes go active, they come online. They begin broadcasting from within your cellular structure, turning you into a living magnet for prosperity. This is what Ashtar meant when he said massive portal activation. This is not just one thing happening. It is a cascade of cosmic events, all perfectly timed, all divinely orchestrated, all working together to create the largest consciousness upgrade and wealth transfer in recorded history. And you, reading these words right now, you are positioned to receive it if you prepare correctly, if you align your frequency, if you open yourself to possibilities that your current mind cannot yet imagine. God's message is clear. Stop playing small. Stop accepting limitation as your reality. Stop believing the lies that poverty is noble or that wanting wealth makes you less spiritual. You are a divine creator being, and it is time to start creating at the level you came here to demonstrate. October 3rd is your cosmic permission slip, your universal green light, your moment to step fully into the abundance that has always been your birthright. The portal is opening. The frequencies are rising. The cosmic codes are activating. And you must decide right now whether you will step through into your new abundant reality or remain in the old paradigm that is rapidly dissolving. Choose wisely. Choose consciously. Choose abundance. Every single moment of your existence, you are broadcasting a signal into the quantum field. This signal is your energetic signature, your vibrational fingerprint, the unique frequency pattern that identifies you in the cosmic database of consciousness. And right now, in this very moment, your energetic signature is either coded for wealth or coded for struggle. There is no middle ground. You're either a magnet for abundance or you are repelling it, and most people have no idea which frequency they are actually transmitting. The Galactic Federation has studied human consciousness for eons, and what they discovered will transform everything you think you know about money, wealth, and manifestation. They found that prosperity is not random. It is not luck. It is not about who you know or where you were born or what family you came from. All of that is surface-level illusion. At the deepest quantum level, Wealth responds to frequency the same way a radio station responds to the exact dial position. You must be tuned to the precise frequency of abundance for it to flow into your reality. Your energetic signature operates like a cosmic barcode. When you walk into a room, when you think a thought, when you take an action, the universe scans your energetic barcode and delivers experiences that match its frequency. If your barcode reads lack, struggle, and limitation, the universe says yes and delivers more lack, more struggle, more limitation. Not because it is punishing you, but because it is responding to your signal with perfect accuracy. The universe is not moral, it is not judging you, it is simply matching your frequency with mathematical precision. This is where most spiritual teachings fail you. They tell you to think positive thoughts, to visualize what you want, to make vision boards, and repeat affirmations. And while these practices have some value, they barely scratch the surface of what is actually required to shift your energetic signature from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness. The real work happens in layers most people never access, in the subconscious programming that runs your life from behind the scenes, in the cellular memory that carries trauma and limitation from generations of ancestors, in the soul contracts you signed before incarnating, that said you would experience lack as part of your learning journey. The wealth frequency code is not something you learn, it is something you remember. Before you came to Earth, before you descended into this dense third-dimensional reality, you existed in states of consciousness where abundance was as natural as breathing. In the higher dimensions, in the realms where your soul originated, there is no such thing as poverty. There is no lack. There is only infinite creative potential manifesting instantly in response to desire and intention. You knew how to create wealth effortlessly because you were operating in your natural state of consciousness, undistorted by the programming and conditioning that came with human incarnation. The October 3rd portal is creating an opportunity for you to remember this original frequency, to access the wealth code that is encoded in your spiritual DNA, waiting to be activated. But you must understand how deeply the distortion goes. From the moment you were born into this reality, you were bombarded with messages about money. Your parents, your teachers, your religious institutions, your government, your media, all of them programmed you with beliefs about wealth. Most of these beliefs were toxic. Most of them were designed to keep you small, manageable, and controllable. You were taught that rich people are greedy, that money is the root of all evil, that you have to work hard for every penny, that wealth requires sacrifice, that you cannot be spiritual and wealthy at the same time. These are all lies, deliberate programming installed in the collective consciousness to prevent humans from accessing their true creative power. Because when humans remember that they are infinite creator beings capable of manifesting unlimited wealth, the control systems collapse. The power structures that depend on your limitation cannot survive your awakening into abundance consciousness. Your energetic signature is currently broadcasting these limiting beliefs, even if you consciously reject them. The beliefs are not held in your conscious mind, they are stored in your subconscious, in your cellular memory, in your energetic field. And they are transmitting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, creating a force field around you that repels the very abundance you consciously desire. This is why you can want money desperately, visualize it constantly, and still experience lack. Your conscious desire is being overridden by your subconscious programming. The Galactic Federation refers to this as frequency hijacking. Your natural wealth frequency was hijacked by the conditioning you received, and now your energetic signature broadcasts a scrambled signal that confuses the quantum field. It is like trying to tune into a radio station, but having massive interference that distorts the music. The station is broadcasting clearly, but what you hear is static and noise. The abundance is flowing from the universe constantly, but your hijacked frequency cannot receive it clearly. Synchronicities are the universe's way of showing you that your frequency is beginning to align with your desires. When you notice repeated numbers, when you have unexpected encounters, when you think of someone and they immediately contact you, these are not coincidences. They are frequency confirmations. They are the universe saying that your energetic signature is starting to match the reality you are calling in. And when it comes to wealth manifestation, synchronicities become very specific. You might see numbers like 888, which carries the frequency code for financial abundance. You might randomly encounter information about investment opportunities or business ideas at the exact moment you were thinking about money. You might receive unexpected refunds, find money, or have debts forgiven seemingly out of nowhere. These are all signs that your wealth frequency is activating, that your energetic signature is being recalibrated, that the October 3rd portal energies are already beginning to work in your reality. But here is what you must understand about the wealth frequency code. It is not just about attracting money. It is about becoming the energetic equivalent of wealth itself. There is a massive difference between wanting to be rich and being energetically wealthy. Someone who wants to be rich is broadcasting lack, because the very act of wanting implies absence. Someone who is energetically wealthy already vibrates as if the abundance has manifested. They think like a wealthy person. They feel like a wealthy person. They make decisions like a wealthy person. Their energetic signature is not seeking wealth because it already embodies wealth. This is the quantum secret that changes everything. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you are vibrating at the frequency of struggle, you attract more struggle. If you are vibrating at the frequency of abundance, you attract more abundance. And the shift from one frequency to another is not about faking it or pretending. It is about genuinely transforming your identity at the deepest level of consciousness. The quantum mind is the key to unlocking this transformation. Your quantum mind is not your brain. It is not your thinking mind with all its chatter and worry. Your quantum mind is your connection to the unified field, the consciousness that connects you to everything that exists. It is the part of you that can perceive multiple timelines simultaneously, that can access information beyond the limitations of space and time, that can literally collapse quantum potential into physical reality through the power of focused awareness. When you activate your quantum mind, when you learn to operate from this level of consciousness, wealth manifestation becomes effortless. You begin to perceive opportunities that are invisible to others. You receive downloads of information that lead to financial breakthroughs. You make decisions that seem illogical to the rational mind, but prove to be incredibly profitable. You step into a flow state where money comes to you through channels you never expected, in amounts that defy your previous understanding of what was possible. The wealth frequency code contains specific elements that must all be present for maximum manifestation power. First, there is the frequency of worthiness. You must genuinely believe at the cellular level that you deserve unlimited abundance. Not just mentally agree with it, but feel it in your bones, in your blood, in every cell of your body. Second, there is the frequency of gratitude. You must be grateful for the abundance you already have, no matter how small it seems, because gratitude amplifies everything it touches. Third, there is the frequency of generosity. You must be willing to give, to circulate energy, to trust that the more you give from a place of abundance consciousness, the more flows back to you multiplied. Fourth, there is the frequency of faith. Not religious faith necessarily, but quantum faith. The absolute knowing that the universe is conspiring in your favor, that what you desire is already yours in the quantum field, waiting only for the right timing and circumstances to materialize in physical form. Fifth, there is the frequency of detachment. You must desire abundance without being desperate for it, call it in without clinging to specific outcomes, trust the process without trying to control every detail of how it manifests. When these 5 frequencies combine in your energetic signature, you become unstoppable. You become a wealth magnet operating at such a high level that money, opportunities, and resources are drawn to you like iron filings to a powerful magnet. And the October 3rd portal is specifically designed to help you lock in these frequencies, to stabilize them in your energy field so they become your permanent operating system rather than temporary states you slip in and out of. The purification process is essential to this transformation. You cannot anchor the wealth frequency code while carrying dense energies of resentment, jealousy, victimhood, or shame. These lower frequencies create static in your energetic signature, distorting the signal you send out to the universe. This is why spiritual purification is not separate from financial abundance. They are intimately connected. As you clear the density from your energy field, as you release the old wounds and limiting beliefs, your natural wealth frequency emerges like the sun breaking through clouds. Your energetic signature is recalibrating right now, in this moment, as you absorb these words. Something is shifting in your consciousness. You can feel it even if you cannot name it. The old frequency is beginning to dissolve. The new frequency is starting to anchor. And on October 3rd, when the portal reaches full activation, your transformed energetic signature will broadcast so clearly, so powerfully, so magnetically, that the abundance you have been calling in will have no choice but to manifest in your physical reality. The universe is listening. The quantum field is responding. And you are becoming the living embodiment of wealth consciousness itself. Ashtar Sheran has transmitted specific protocols for the ground crew, precise instructions that must be followed in the days leading up to October 3rd to ensure maximum activation potential. These are not suggestions. These are not optional spiritual practices you can take or leave based on your mood. These are essential preparation sequences that will determine whether you successfully anchor the incoming frequencies or whether you experience the portal opening while remaining locked in your current limited reality. The activation sequence begins with understanding your role. You are not a passive observer waiting for the universe to deliver abundance while you sit on your couch visualizing. You are an active participant in a cosmic operation that spans galaxies and dimensions. The Galactic Federation did not choose random souls for the ground crew. They selected the strongest, the bravest, the most capable beings from across the universe and said, "We need you on Earth during the Great Transition. We need you to anchor the light codes, to hold the frequency, to be the bridge between the old paradigm and the new." Protocol 1 is energy field purification. Your auric field, the electromagnetic energy that surrounds your physical body, is filled with debris. Every negative thought you have absorbed, every toxic interaction you have experienced, every fear-based belief you have carried, all of it leaves residue in your energy field. This residue acts like a dam, blocking the flow of cosmic frequencies trying to reach you. Before October 3rd, you must clear this debris completely. The method Ashtar provides is simple, but requires discipline. Each morning before you do anything else, before you check your phone, before you engage with the external world, you sit in stillness for a minimum of 20 minutes. In this stillness, you visualize a column of white light descending from the cosmos, entering through your crown chakra and flooding your entire energy field. This light is intelligent. It knows where the blockages are, where the density lives, where the old programming hides. You allow this light to scan your system and burn away everything that is not aligned with your highest frequency. You will feel resistance during this process. Your ego will tell you that you are too busy, that 20 minutes is too long, that you can skip a day and it will not matter. This resistance is the old programming fighting for survival. It knows that if you successfully purify your energy field, it will lose its power over you. You must push through the resistance. You must sit in the discomfort. You must allow the light to do its work, even when every part of you wants to run back to the familiar safety of limitation. Protocol 2 is frequency protection. As you begin to raise your vibration in preparation for the portal activation, you will become more sensitive to the energies around you. People who are operating in lower frequencies will suddenly feel draining to be around. News media and social media will feel toxic and overwhelming. Even activities you used to enjoy might start feeling heavy and misaligned. This is not you becoming judgmental or superior. This is your energy field, recognizing what matches your new frequency and what does not. Ashtar instructs the ground crew to create deliberate boundaries during this preparation phase. Limit your exposure to mass consciousness programming. Reduce time spent scrolling through fear-based content. Choose carefully who you allow into your energy field. This is not about isolation or spiritual bypassing. This is about conscious frequency management. You are preparing to receive the highest possible activation, and you cannot do that while simultaneously absorbing lower vibrational energies from your environment. Some relationships will naturally fall away during this time. Some friendships will feel strained. Some family dynamics will become uncomfortable. This is part of the process. As you evolve, as your frequency rises, you will no longer be a vibrational match for certain people and situations. Let them go with love. Do not cling to connections that have run their course simply because letting go feels difficult. The universe is making space in your life for new relationships, new opportunities, new realities that match your elevated consciousness. Protocol 3 is physical body preparation. Your physical vessel is the receiver for cosmic frequencies. If the receiver is clogged with toxins, dense foods, and stagnant energy, the transmission will be weak or distorted. In the week leading up to October 3rd, Ashtar recommends specific adjustments to support your body's ability to anchor the incoming light codes. Increase your water intake significantly. Water is a conductor of frequency and a purifier of cellular memory. As you drink clean water with conscious intention, visualize it washing through your system and carrying away old energetic patterns that no longer serve you. Reduce or eliminate heavy foods that lower your vibration. This includes processed foods, excessive sugar, alcohol, and anything that makes your body feel sluggish or dense. You do not need to be perfect, but conscious choices make a measurable difference in your receptivity. Movement is essential. Your body stores trauma and limiting beliefs in your tissues, your muscles, your fascia. When you move, when you stretch, when you allow energy to flow through your physical form, you release these stored patterns. Dance, yoga, walking in nature, whatever form of movement brings you joy and gets your energy circulating. The goal is not exercise for fitness. The goal is energy circulation for frequency elevation. Protocol 4 is the activation of your light body. Most humans are completely unaware that they have a light body, an energetic structure that exists beyond the physical that is capable of perceiving and interacting with higher dimensional realities. Your light body is your vehicle for interdimensional travel, for cosmic communication, for accessing the quantum field directly, and it must be online and operational before October 3rd if you want to experience the full power of the portal activation. The light body activation process begins with acknowledging its existence. Sit quietly and place your awareness about 6 inches outside your physical body. Sense the energy there, the electromagnetic field that extends beyond your skin. With practice, you will begin to perceive this field more clearly. You might see colors, feel tingling sensations, or simply have a knowing that something exists in that space. This is your light body beginning to come online. Once you can sense your light body, you begin to work with it intentionally. Visualize it expanding, growing brighter, becoming more coherent and organized. Your light body responds to your focused intention. As you give it attention, as you acknowledge it and work with it, it strengthens, and a strong activated light body can receive and anchor cosmic frequencies at levels that would overwhelm an unprepared physical system. Protocol 5 is the practice of quantum manifestation. Between now and October 3rd, you must practice collapsing quantum potential into physical reality on a small scale so you are ready to do it on a massive scale when the portal opens. Start with something simple. Choose an object or experience you want to manifest that feels achievable but slightly beyond your current reality. Maybe it is receiving unexpected money. Maybe it is a specific synchronicity. Maybe it is an opportunity you have been hoping for. Take that desire and feel it as already accomplished. Do not visualize it as something in the future that you hope will happen. Experience it right now in this present moment as if it has already manifested. Feel the emotions of having it. See yourself living the reality where this desire is fulfilled, and then release it completely. Let it go into the quantum field, without attachment, without obsession, without checking every 5 minutes to see if it has appeared yet. This is the paradox of manifestation. You must desire it fully and release it completely at the same time. When the small manifestations begin appearing, and they will if you follow the protocol correctly, you build confidence in your manifestation abilities. You prove to yourself that you are not a victim of circumstance, that you are not at the mercy of external conditions, that you are a conscious creator with the power to influence your reality. This confidence is essential for October 3rd, because the opportunities that present themselves through that portal will require you to act with certainty, to trust your inner guidance, to make bold moves that your logical mind will question. Protocol 6 is establishing direct communication with the Galactic Federation. You are not alone in this process. Ashtar and the entire Federation are actively supporting every member of the ground crew, but you must open the channel of communication. You must make yourself available to receive their guidance, their transmissions, their support. This happens through meditation, through prayer, through conscious intention to connect with these higher dimensional beings who are orchestrating the ascension process. Before sleep each night, state your intention clearly. Call in Ashtar Sheran, call in the Galactic Federation, call in your spirit guides and higher self. Ask them to work with you during your sleep state, to prepare you for the activation, to clear any remaining blocks that you might not be consciously aware of. Your dream state is when your conscious mind steps aside and allows direct access to your subconscious and superconscious. This is when the deepest work happens, when the most significant downloads occur, when your system is upgraded in ways that would be impossible during waking consciousness. Pay attention to your dreams in the days leading up to October 3rd. You will receive information, symbols, and messages that are relevant to your preparation. Write them down upon waking, even if they do not make logical sense. The language of the subconscious is symbolic, and messages often come in metaphor and imagery rather than clear directives. But your higher self knows how to interpret them, and as you record your dreams, you are telling the universe that you are paying attention, that you are open to receiving guidance, that you are ready to participate fully in your own evolution. Protocol 7 is the wealth consciousness immersion. Every single day between now and October 3rd, you must deliberately immerse yourself in the frequency of abundance. This means consciously choosing thoughts, feelings, and actions that match the reality of unlimited wealth. When you wake up, before your feet hit the floor, you say thank you for the abundance that is flowing to me right now. Throughout the day, you catch yourself when scarcity thoughts arise, and you consciously shift them to abundance thoughts. You act as if the wealth has already manifested. You make decisions from a place of abundance rather than lack. This does not mean being financially irresponsible or spending money you do not have. It means shifting your internal state from "I cannot afford this" to "I am choosing not to purchase this right now because it does not align with my goals." It means tipping generously when you can, giving to others when you feel called, trusting that the energy you put out returns multiplied. The final element of Ashtar's protocol is perhaps the most important. You must make a commitment, a sacred vow to yourself and to the universe, that you will step through the portal on October 3rd, regardless of what your logical mind says, regardless of what fear shows up, regardless of what old patterns try to pull you back. You must decide right now in this moment that you are done with limitation, done with struggle, done with playing small. You are ready for abundance. You are ready for your mission. You are ready to become everything you came here to be. This commitment anchors your intention in the quantum field and sets in motion the forces that will support your transformation. God spoke, and what was revealed about money, wealth, and material abundance will shatter every false teaching you have ever received about spirituality and prosperity. The divine intelligence that created galaxies, that breathes life into stars, that orchestrates the dance of atoms and the evolution of consciousness. This same intelligence has a very specific perspective on wealth that contradicts almost everything organized religion and New Age spirituality has told you. The revelation begins with a simple but profound truth. God does not view material wealth as separate from spiritual wealth. In the consciousness of the divine, there is no hierarchy that places poverty above prosperity or suffering above joy. These are human constructs, control mechanisms designed to keep powerful spiritual beings trapped in limitation so they cannot fulfill their true mission on earth. The divine wants you wealthy. The divine wants you abundant. The divine wants you living in complete material freedom so you can focus your energy on what you actually came here to do. Think about this logically for a moment. If you are constantly worried about money, constantly stressed about bills, constantly operating in survival mode, how much energy do you have left for your spiritual evolution? How much bandwidth do you have available for creative expression, for serving others, for raising consciousness on this planet? The answer is almost none. Poverty consciousness keeps you trapped in the lower chakras, focused on basic survival needs, unable to access the higher frequencies where true transformation happens. This is why the system was designed to keep spiritual people poor. Because poor people are easier to control, poor people are too exhausted to question authority, poor people are too busy working multiple jobs to awaken to their true power. And for thousands of years, religious institutions have perpetuated the lie that spirituality requires poverty, that money is evil, that wealthy people cannot enter heaven. These teachings did not come from God. They came from those who wanted to maintain power over the masses by keeping them disempowered financially. God's financial revelation is this: material abundance is a spiritual tool. Money is concentrated energy, and when that energy is in the hands of conscious, awakened beings who understand their mission, it becomes a force for massive positive change on this planet. The divine wants wealth in the hands of lightworkers, not because lightworkers deserve it more than others, but because lightworkers will use it to serve the highest good rather than hoarding it out of fear or using it to manipulate and control. The divine abundance blueprint that God revealed contains specific instructions for how to align with unlimited prosperity while maintaining spiritual integrity. The first principle is that wealth must flow, not stagnate. Money is energy, and like all energy, it must circulate to remain healthy and alive. When you receive money, you must also give money, not from obligation or guilt, but from the understanding that circulation creates more flow. The wealthy stay wealthy not because they hoard every dollar, but because they understand the principle of circulation. This does not mean giving beyond your means or sacrificing your own well-being to help others. It means being generous from a place of abundance consciousness, trusting that what you give returns multiplied. It means tipping well when you receive good service, donating to causes that align with your values, supporting other conscious entrepreneurs and creators. Every act of generous circulation tells the universe that you trust in infinite abundance, and the universe responds by sending more abundance your way. The second principle in the divine abundance blueprint is that your wealth must be aligned with your purpose. God revealed that money obtained through activities that harm others, that exploit suffering, that contribute to the degradation of consciousness, this money carries a frequency that will eventually destroy the person who accumulated it. You have seen this pattern play out countless times. People who build fortunes through unethical means eventually lose everything, or they become miserable despite their wealth, or they develop serious health problems that money cannot fix. But wealth that comes through aligned action, through serving others, through creating value and contributing to human evolution, this wealth carries a blessing. It carries a divine frequency that amplifies the more you receive. This is why the October 3rd portal is specifically opening for ground crew members, for conscious souls who will use abundance as a tool for their mission rather than an end in itself. The universe trusts you with wealth because you understand the responsibility that comes with it. The third principle is the destruction of poverty consciousness at the root level. God showed that poverty is not a virtue, struggle is not noble, suffering does not make you more enlightened. These are perhaps the most damaging lies ever told to spiritual seekers, and they must be completely eradicated from your consciousness if you want to access the abundance that is your birthright. Poverty consciousness is a virus in your mental and emotional system, and it spreads through generations if not consciously cleared. Your ancestors likely carried poverty consciousness. They lived through depressions, wars, famines, and economic hardships that programmed deep survival fear into their nervous systems. And that programming was passed down to you through your genetic lineage, through the stories you heard as a child, through the beliefs that were modeled in your family. Even if your parents never explicitly taught you that money is bad, you absorbed their anxiety around it, their stress about bills, their belief that you have to work hard and sacrifice to barely get by. God's revelation includes the understanding that you must consciously break this ancestral pattern. You must become the one who transforms the financial frequency for your entire lineage, past and future. When you heal your relationship with money, when you shift from poverty consciousness to abundance consciousness, you are not just changing your own life. You are sending a frequency ripple backward and forward through time, healing your ancestors and liberating your descendants from the limitation they would have inherited from you. The Divine Abundance Blueprint includes specific information about large sums of money in dollars. This is important because many spiritual people are comfortable manifesting small amounts, an unexpected $20 bill, a small refund, a modest raise. But they have deep resistance to manifesting truly life-changing wealth, the kind of money that allows complete freedom and massive impact. God revealed that this resistance comes from unworthiness, from the belief that you do not deserve extraordinary abundance, that it would be too good to be true, that something bad would happen if you received it. The truth is that the universe has no problem delivering millions of dollars to you if that is what serves your highest purpose. The quantum field does not differentiate between manifesting $10 and manifesting $10 million. Both are simply energy being reorganized from potential into physical form. The only difference is in your consciousness, in your ability to hold the frequency of receiving large amounts without short-circuiting your system with disbelief or unworthiness. This is why the preparation protocols are so essential. You are literally expanding your capacity to receive. You are upgrading your internal wiring so it can handle higher voltages of abundance without blowing the circuits. Most people pray for wealth, but would actually panic if it arrived suddenly because their system is not prepared to receive it. They would sabotage it, give it away, or lose it quickly because their energetic set point is calibrated for limitation, not abundance. God also revealed the truth about luxury and material possessions. For too long, spiritual communities have demonized beautiful things, expensive items, and high-quality experiences as being shallow or materialistic. This is another control mechanism. There is nothing unspiritual about appreciating beauty, about surrounding yourself with quality, about enjoying the finest that physical reality has to offer. In fact, when you allow yourself to experience luxury, when you give yourself permission to have beautiful things, you are honoring the creative power of the universe that made beauty possible in the first place. The key is your relationship with these things. If you need luxury to feel worthy, if you use possessions to compensate for inner emptiness, if you are addicted to acquiring things to fill a void, then yes, that is an unhealthy relationship with material reality. But if you appreciate luxury as an expression of abundance consciousness, if you enjoy beautiful things while remaining unattached to them, if you can experience wealth without your identity being dependent on it, then luxury becomes a celebration of the creative power you have accessed. God wants you to experience the full spectrum of physical reality, and that includes wealth, luxury, beauty, pleasure, and material abundance. You did not come to Earth to suffer in a cave eating rice and beans while rejecting everything the material world offers. You came to master physical reality, to learn how to create in dense matter, to demonstrate that consciousness can shape form. And wealth is one of the most powerful ways to develop that mastery. The Divine Abundance Blueprint also addresses the specific topic of attracting high-value opportunities. Business deals worth hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, investments that multiply exponentially, income streams that flow effortlessly. God revealed that these opportunities exist in the quantum field right now, waiting for a consciousness that can perceive them and act on them. They are not reserved for special people or those with connections. They are available to anyone whose frequency matches the opportunity's frequency. This is where intuition becomes your most valuable asset. As your spiritual senses awaken, as your connection to the quantum field strengthens, you will begin to receive intuitive hits about opportunities. You will feel a pull towards certain investments, certain business ideas, certain people to connect with. Your rational mind will often question these intuitive nudges because they do not make logical sense based on your current limited perspective. But your higher self can see the entire chessboard, can perceive timelines and possibilities that your human mind cannot access. Learning to trust and act on your intuition, especially regarding financial decisions, is essential training for handling the level of abundance that wants to flow through you. God revealed that many people miss their breakthrough opportunities because they second-guess their intuition. They overthink until the opportunity passes. They let fear override the clear guidance their soul is providing. The October 3rd portal will amplify your intuitive abilities significantly, but you must be willing to trust what you receive and take inspired action even when it feels uncomfortable or illogical. The final piece of the Divine Abundance Blueprint is understanding that your wealth is meant to be enjoyed, not hoarded out of fear that it will disappear. When you receive abundance, celebrate it, experience it fully. Let yourself feel wealthy, act wealthy, think wealthy. This does not mean being frivolous or irresponsible. It means claiming your identity as an abundant being and living from that truth. The energy you put out when you enjoy your wealth with gratitude and appreciation creates a magnetic field that attracts even more wealth to you. God's message is unequivocal. You are meant to be wealthy. You are designed for abundance. You are worthy of receiving unlimited prosperity. And the October 3rd portal is your divine invitation to step into the financial reality that matches your true spiritual power. The blueprint has been revealed. The path has been illuminated. And the only question remaining is whether you will claim what is already yours. Reality is not singular. This is perhaps the most important truth you will ever grasp about the nature of existence and your power to create abundance. Right now, in this very moment, there are infinite versions of you living infinite versions of your life across infinite parallel timelines. There is a version of you that is already wealthy beyond measure. There is a version of you living in complete financial freedom, traveling the world, impacting millions, experiencing luxury and abundance as your natural state. That version is not fantasy. It is not wishful thinking. It is actual reality existing in a parallel dimension that you can access and merge with. Quantum physics has proven what mystics have known for millennia. The universe is not a fixed, solid thing. It is a field of infinite potential, where all possibilities exist simultaneously, until consciousness collapses the wave function and selects one specific reality to experience. You are not stuck in your current financial circumstances. You are not trapped by your past choices or your present conditions. You are simply focused on one timeline out of infinite available timelines, and you have the power to shift your focus to a different timeline at any moment. The dimensional shifts happening now, accelerating toward the October 3rd portal activation, are creating unprecedented opportunities for timeline jumping. The barriers between dimensions are dissolving. The veils separating parallel realities are becoming transparent. And for those who understand how to navigate this quantum landscape, moving from a timeline of struggle to a timeline of prosperity is not only possible, it is inevitable. Understanding how timelines work is essential. Every decision you make, every thought you think, every emotion you feel creates a branching point in the timeline structure. In one timeline, you chose fear and stayed small. In another timeline, you chose courage and took the risk. Both timelines are real. Both versions of you exist, and the version you experience depends entirely on which frequency you are broadcasting in this present moment. Your current financial reality is the result of thousands of small decisions and unconscious choices that led you down this particular timeline path. But here is the empowering truth. You can change timelines. You can literally shift from the poverty timeline to the prosperity timeline by changing your frequency, by making different choices, by collapsing different quantum possibilities into your experienced reality. And the October 3rd portal is creating a cosmic superhighway that makes this timeline shift easier than it has ever been in human history. The mechanics of timeline shifting involve something called quantum entanglement. At the subatomic level, particles that were once connected remain connected across any distance, instantaneously affecting each other regardless of space or time. Your consciousness works the same way. You are entangled with all versions of yourself across all timelines. When you shift your frequency here, it affects all of your parallel selves. When the wealthy version of you makes a decision there, it sends information to you here. You are not separate beings. You are one consciousness experiencing multiple realities simultaneously. This is why synchronicities increase when you begin focusing on abundance. You are starting to tune into the prosperity timeline, and information from that timeline begins bleeding through into your current experience. You see opportunities you never noticed before. You meet people who can help you in unexpected ways. Resources appear from nowhere. These are not coincidences. These are timeline convergence points where the prosperity reality you are calling in begins merging with your current reality. The dimensional shifts occurring now are causing time itself to behave strangely. You may have noticed that time seems to be speeding up, that weeks feel like days, that months fly by in what used to feel like weeks. This is not your imagination. The frequency of the planet is accelerating, and as frequency increases, the perception and experience of time changes. What used to take years to manifest can now manifest in months. What used to take months can now manifest in weeks. And after October 3rd, with the portal fully activated, manifestations that once took weeks will occur in days or even hours. This acceleration of manifestation is both an opportunity and a warning. When the gap between thought and manifestation shortens, you must become extremely conscious of what you are thinking and feeling. In the old paradigm, you could afford to be sloppy with your thoughts because there was a significant time lag between mental creation and physical manifestation. That lag gave you time to course correct, to change your mind, to shift your focus before unwanted things materialized. But in the accelerated frequency of the new paradigm, thoughts manifest quickly, which means negative thinking and fear-based emotions can create unwanted realities much faster than before. This is why the purification protocols are so critical. You must clear the subconscious programming that runs automatically in the background of your mind, creating by default rather than by conscious intention. When you clean up your internal world, when you become aware of your automatic thoughts and beliefs, you gain control over which timeline you are activating and which reality you are calling into manifestation. The prosperity timeline has specific characteristics that distinguish it from the struggle timeline. In the prosperity timeline, opportunities flow easily. Money comes from multiple sources. Your work feels aligned and effortless. You are surrounded by supportive people who celebrate your success. Synchronicities happen constantly. You feel energized rather than drained. Your intuition is sharp and clear. You make decisions confidently. You trust yourself and the universe. These are not just positive feelings. These are the actual frequency signatures of the prosperity dimension. To shift into this timeline, you must embody these characteristics now before the external evidence appears. This is the paradox that stops most people from making the shift. They wait for their circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel prosperous. But timeline shifting works in reverse. You must feel prosperous first, you must think and act from the prosperity timeline, and then your external circumstances rearrange themselves to match your new frequency. You do not wait for wealth to feel wealthy. You feel wealthy to attract wealth. The Galactic Federation has been working extensively with the timeline structure of Earth, helping to stabilize the higher frequency timelines so they become more accessible to awakening humans. Before their intervention, the prosperity timelines were available but difficult to access because the lower frequency timelines had more gravitational pull, more collective energy invested in them. Most of humanity was focused on struggle, so the struggle timeline was thick and dense and easy to get stuck in. But the Federation has been literally rewiring the quantum architecture of Earth's timeline structure. They have been amplifying the prosperity timelines, making them more magnetic, easier to lock onto, more stable for those who choose to shift into them. This is part of the preparation for the mass consciousness shift that is underway. As more individuals successfully move into prosperity consciousness, it creates a momentum that makes it easier for others to follow. You are not just shifting for yourself, you are paving the way for everyone who comes after you. There are specific signs that indicate you are successfully transitioning from the struggle timeline to the prosperity timeline. You will notice that old patterns that used to dominate your life suddenly lose their power over you. Situations that used to trigger fear or anxiety no longer affect you the same way. People from your past may contact you out of nowhere, offering opportunities or resources. You might experience unexpected windfalls, money showing up from sources you forgot about, refunds, gifts, bonuses that seem to appear magically. Your sleep patterns may change during the timeline shift. You might experience vivid dreams where you are living a completely different life, a wealthier life, a freer life. These are not just dreams. They are glimpses into the prosperity timeline, preview screenings of the reality you are moving into. Pay attention to these dreams. They contain information about your path forward, about decisions you need to make, about opportunities you should pursue. Physical sensations often accompany dimensional shifts. You might feel tingling in your body, especially around your head and spine, as your nervous system upgrades to handle the higher frequencies. You might experience moments of disorientation where you feel like you are between worlds, not quite in your old reality, but not fully in your new one yet. This is normal and temporary. You are literally transitioning between dimensions, and your physical body needs time to acclimate to the new frequency environment. The most important thing to understand about entering the prosperity timeline is that it requires complete commitment. You cannot have one foot in the old reality and one foot in the new. You cannot hedge your bets by maintaining poverty consciousness as a backup plan in case abundance consciousness does not work out. The universe responds to your dominant frequency, and if you are divided, if you are wavering between belief and doubt, you will create a mixed reality that reflects your internal conflict. October 3rd represents a cosmic decision point. The portal opening is creating a clear fork in the road of human evolution. One path leads to the continuation of the old paradigm, the timeline of struggle, limitation, and survival consciousness. The other path leads to the new paradigm, the timeline of abundance, freedom, and creative mastery. Both timelines will continue to exist, and individuals will sort themselves according to their frequency. This is not judgment, this is simply quantum mechanics operating at the level of consciousness. Those who choose the prosperity timeline, those who do the inner work to raise their frequency, those who commit fully to abundance consciousness will find themselves living in an increasingly different reality from those who remain in struggle consciousness. It will be as if they are living on different planets, experiencing different laws of physics, operating under different rules. And both groups will look at the other and not understand how they can perceive reality so differently. You are being invited right now to make a choice. Not an intellectual choice, not a casual preference, but a soul-level commitment to enter the prosperity timeline and never look back. To release every attachment to struggle, every investment in victimhood, every familiar comfort of limitation. To step fully into your power as a creator being and claim the abundant reality that has always been available, but that you were too afraid or too programmed to access. The dimensional doorway is opening. The prosperity timeline is calling you home. And on October 3rd, the cosmic energies will peak, creating the clearest, easiest, most supported opportunity you may ever have to make this shift. Will you step through? Will you claim your place in the new paradigm? Will you finally allow yourself to be as wealthy, as free, as powerful as you truly are? The choice is yours, and the universe is waiting for your answer. The difference between someone who struggles financially their entire life and someone who generates millions effortlessly has nothing to do with intelligence, education, connections, or luck. The difference exists entirely in consciousness, in the quantum operating system that runs beneath their thoughts and actions. The millionaire mindset is not about positive thinking or success habits, although those have their place. It is about a fundamental rewiring of your consciousness at the deepest possible level, an upgrade so complete that your entire perception of reality transforms. Most people operate from a consciousness that was programmed in childhood, installed by parents who were programmed by their parents, running software that is generations old and completely incompatible with the new frequencies flooding the planet. This old programming treats money as scarce, views wealth as difficult to obtain, and believes that financial success requires tremendous sacrifice and struggle. Even when people consciously reject these beliefs, the programming continues running in the background of their subconscious mind, sabotaging every attempt to create lasting abundance. The quantum consciousness upgrade that is available through the October 3rd portal will completely overwrite this obsolete programming, but only if you understand what the millionaire mindset actually is and how to install it in your system. This is not about mimicking wealthy people or adopting surface-level behaviors. This is about shifting your fundamental identity, the core sense of who you are at the deepest level of being. A millionaire does not hope to become wealthy. A millionaire does not wish for abundance. A millionaire simply is wealthy, and they operate from that knowing with such absolute certainty that the external world has no choice but to reflect it back to them. This is not arrogance or delusion. This is quantum mechanics. Your identity broadcasts a frequency, and reality reorganizes itself to match that frequency. When your identity is, I am wealthy, the universe must deliver experiences that confirm that identity. The first level of the consciousness upgrade involves destroying the separation between your current self and your wealthy self. In your mind, there is a version of you that has money and a version of you that does not, and you believe these are two different people. You think that you must somehow transform from one into the other, that you must go through a long process of becoming before you can claim wealth. This belief creates a gap, and that gap becomes filled with time, struggle, and obstacles. The truth is, there is no gap. The wealthy version of you is not in your future. It exists right now in the quantum field, and you can step into that identity in this present moment. Not by pretending, not by fake it till you make it affirmations, but by genuinely recognizing that wealth is a state of consciousness, not a bank account balance. When you embody wealth consciousness, when you think from wealth rather than toward wealth, you collapse the quantum wave function in a completely different way, and opportunities that were invisible suddenly become obvious. The second level of the upgrade is reprogramming your relationship with money itself. Most people have a deeply dysfunctional relationship with money, treating it as a scarce resource to be hoarded, feared, and anxiously managed. They check their bank account with dread. They feel stress every time they need to spend money. They operate from a constant low-level anxiety about financial survival. This relationship with money guarantees that money will remain scarce because money is energy, and energy flows toward appreciation and away from anxiety. Millionaire consciousness treats money as a tool, a form of energy that comes and goes naturally like the breath. There is no grasping, no clinging, no desperation. Money is welcomed when it arrives and released when it leaves, with complete trust that more is always flowing. This does not mean being careless or irresponsible with finances. It means having such deep confidence in your ability to generate wealth that you never operate from fear of loss. And when fear is removed from the equation, when the energy of scarcity is no longer constricting the flow, money rushes in to fill the space. The third level involves expanding your capacity to receive. This is where most people unconsciously sabotage their abundance. They say they want wealth, they pray for it, they visualize it. But when opportunities actually present themselves, they talk themselves out of it. They decide it is too good to be true, too risky, too far outside their comfort zone. Or wealth starts flowing in, and they immediately find ways to get rid of it, spending it impulsively, giving it away compulsively, or creating problems that drain the resources as fast as they arrive. This happens because their internal set point for wealth is calibrated to a certain level. And when income exceeds that set point, their system goes into alarm mode and finds ways to return to the familiar level. It is exactly like a thermostat. If your financial thermostat is set to $50,000 a year, you can work as hard as you want. But your unconscious mind will sabotage any attempt to consistently earn more than that amount. The only solution is to consciously reset the thermostat, to expand your capacity to receive by doing the inner work that allows you to feel safe, worthy, and comfortable with much higher levels of wealth. The quantum consciousness upgrade recalibrates this set point automatically when you align with the portal frequencies, but you must consciously participate in the process by stretching your imagination beyond its current limits. You must be willing to envision yourself with amounts of money that feel almost ridiculous to your current mindset. Not just comfortable wealth, not just enough to pay your bills with some left over, but excessive, extraordinary, life-changing amounts. Millions of dollars, tens of millions. Whatever number makes your logical mind say that is impossible for someone like me, that is the number you need to be working with. The fourth level of the millionaire mindset is understanding that wealth creation is not about working harder. It is about perceiving opportunities that already exist. Millionaires do not have access to secret opportunities that regular people cannot see. They have developed perception quantum vision that allows them to recognize value where others see nothing. They look at the same world everyone else looks at, but they see it differently. They notice gaps in the market, they identify problems that need solutions, they recognize assets that are undervalued, and then they act on what they see while others are still blind to the opportunity. This quantum vision is a natural byproduct of raised consciousness. As your frequency elevates, as your energy field clears, as your connection to the unified field strengthens, your perception expands dramatically. You begin to receive information through channels that most people cannot access. Intuitive hits about investments, downloads of business ideas, gut feelings about which direction to move. Your higher self can see the entire chessboard, all possible moves and outcomes, and it communicates this information to you through intuition, synchronicities, and sudden knowing that seems to come from nowhere. The October 3rd portal will amplify this quantum vision exponentially. Ideas will flood your consciousness, opportunities will present themselves at an accelerated rate, and your challenge will not be finding ways to create wealth, but choosing which of the many available paths to pursue. This is why the preparation is so important. When the floodgates open, when abundance comes rushing in from multiple directions simultaneously, You must be grounded enough, clear enough, and confident enough to navigate the flow without becoming overwhelmed or making poor decisions out of excitement or desperation. The fifth level is developing what millionaires call strategic patience combined with decisive action. This seems like a contradiction, but it is actually the perfect balance required for massive wealth creation. Strategic patience means you trust divine timing. You do not force outcomes. You allow the universe to orchestrate events in the optimal sequence. But when the moment for action arrives, when the opportunity is ripe, you move with absolute decisiveness and commitment. No hesitation, no second guessing, no waiting for more certainty. Most people fail at wealth creation because they get this balance wrong. Either they are passive, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes, or they are impulsive, taking action before the timing is right and then wondering why things fall apart. Millionaire consciousness knows when to wait and when to move, and this knowing comes from connection to intuition, to the inner guidance system that is always communicating if you are quiet enough to hear it. The sixth level involves rewiring your relationship with failure and risk. Millionaires understand that failure is data, not defeat. Every unsuccessful venture provides information about what does not work, bringing you closer to discovering what does. They are not emotionally devastated by setbacks because their identity is not attached to any single outcome. They know that wealth creation is a numbers game, and persistence combined with adaptation eventually leads to breakthrough. This mindset allows them to take risks that terrify average people. Not reckless risks, but calculated moves into unknown territory where high rewards await those brave enough to venture. And because they are not paralyzed by fear of failure, they take action while others are still analyzing, planning, and preparing. By the time the cautious person feels ready to move, the opportunity has usually passed, and the millionaire has already capitalized on it and moved on to the next venture. The seventh and perhaps most crucial level of the consciousness upgrade is understanding that you do not create wealth for yourself alone. The new paradigm wealth consciousness recognizes that massive abundance flows through you, not to you. You are a channel, a conduit for prosperity that is meant to circulate and impact the world in positive ways. When you understand this, when you see yourself as a steward of wealth rather than a hoarder, the universe trusts you with increasingly larger amounts because it knows you will use the resources wisely. This is the consciousness of the ground crew, the awareness that your abundance serves a higher purpose. You are not manifesting wealth so you can buy toys and impress people. You are calling in resources because you have a mission that requires funding, because there are projects you need to launch, people you need to help, consciousness you need to raise on this planet. The universe responds to purposeful wealth creation much more powerfully than it responds to selfish desire for luxury. The final element of the millionaire mindset is the unshakable knowing that you are already successful, already abundant, already everything you need to be. This is not future tense, not something you will become if you do everything right. This is present tense recognition of your true nature. You are a divine being having a temporary human experience, and divinity is inherently abundant, inherently creative, inherently unlimited. When you remember this truth, when you operate from this knowing, wealth becomes inevitable because you are finally aligned with what you actually are rather than what you were programmed to believe about yourself. The quantum consciousness upgrade happening through the October 3rd portal is offering you the chance to install millionaire mindset as your default operating system, not as something you practice occasionally, but as the fundamental way you perceive and interact with reality every single day. This upgrade is permanent if you choose to accept it, if you commit to maintaining the new frequency, if you refuse to slip back into old patterns of lack and limitation. Your consciousness is being rewritten, your perception is expanding, and your capacity to generate wealth is about to increase beyond anything you can currently imagine. The universe is always speaking to you, sending signals, leaving breadcrumbs, showing you the way forward. But most people miss these messages entirely because they do not understand the language the universe uses to communicate. Synchronicities are not random coincidences. They are the universe's primary communication system, a sophisticated code language that delivers precise information about your path, your timing, and the opportunities that are aligning for you right now. When it comes to wealth manifestation, synchronicity codes become extremely specific. The universe begins sending you signals that abundance is on its way, that your frequency is locking onto the prosperity timeline, that the October 3rd portal activation is working in your favor. But if you do not know how to read these signals, if you dismiss them as mere coincidence or overlook them completely, you miss critical guidance that could accelerate your wealth manifestation exponentially. Numbers are the universe's most direct communication tool. Everything in existence operates on mathematical principles, from the spiral of galaxies to the structure of DNA. Numbers carry frequency, and when you see certain number sequences repeatedly, it is not your imagination and it is not random. It is the quantum field communicating with you through the language of mathematics, sending you coded messages about what is happening in your energetic reality. The number sequence 888 is perhaps the most powerful wealth code in existence. When you begin seeing this number repeatedly, on clocks, license plates, receipts, phone numbers, addresses, it is the universe's way of telling you that financial abundance is flowing toward you rapidly. The number 8 represents infinity when turned on its side, endless circulation, and the continuous flow of energy. 3 8s together create an amplification of this frequency, signaling that you are in a powerful manifestation window for wealth. But here is what most people do wrong when they start seeing 888. They get excited for a moment, they think, oh, that is a good sign, and then they continue operating from the same limited consciousness they have always had. They do not change their behavior. They do not shift their decisions. They do not act on the opportunities presenting themselves. The synchronicity was a signal to move, to take action, to step into a new level of abundance consciousness, but they treated it like a fortune cookie message, interesting but ultimately irrelevant to their actual choices. When you see wealth synchronicity codes, you must respond to them. You must let them shift your internal state, raise your frequency, and influence your decisions. If you see 888 in the morning, you should spend that entire day operating as if abundance is already manifesting, making choices from wealth consciousness rather than lack consciousness, being generous, trusting the flow, and watching for opportunities that appear. The number sequence 111 is another critical synchronicity code related to manifestation. When you see 111 repeatedly, it means you are in a high manifestation state. Your thoughts are creating reality faster than usual, and you need to be extremely conscious of what you are focusing on. This is both an opportunity and a warning. If you are thinking abundance thoughts when you see 111, those thoughts are being supercharged and will manifest quickly. But if you are stuck in worry and fear, those frequencies are also being amplified. The sequence 444 indicates that the Galactic Federation and your spiritual support team are actively working with you, helping to arrange circumstances in your favor, preparing you for the next level of your mission. When you see 444 during your wealth manifestation journey, it means you are being supported at levels you cannot see, that there are cosmic forces working behind the scenes to deliver opportunities and resources to you. Your job is to trust, to stay in high frequency, and to be ready to act when the opportunities appear. The number 777 signifies spiritual alignment and divine approval. When this sequence appears repeatedly, it means you are on the right path, your choices are aligned with your highest good, and you should continue in the direction you are moving. In the context of wealth manifestation, seeing 777 after making a financial decision or pursuing an opportunity means the universe is confirming that this is the correct path, and success is likely if you continue forward with commitment. Beyond number sequences, synchronicities related to wealth manifest in many other forms. You might be thinking about a specific opportunity and then immediately encounter information about it through an unexpected source. You might need guidance on a financial decision and then overhear a conversation that contains exactly the information you need. You might be wondering whether to pursue a particular investment and then meet someone randomly who has expertise in that exact field. These are not coincidences. These are orchestrated events, cosmic breadcrumbs leading you toward your abundance. The key to working with synchronicities is developing what we call synchronistic awareness, the ability to notice these signals in real time and recognize their significance. Most people live in such mental noise, so distracted by their thoughts and external stimuli, that they miss 90% of the synchronicities occurring around them. They are too busy scrolling social media to notice the meaningful conversation happening next to them. They are too lost in worry to perceive the opportunity that just appeared. They are too skeptical to acknowledge that the repeated symbol or phrase they keep encountering actually means something. Synchronistic awareness develops naturally as you raise your frequency and quiet your mind. Meditation, time in nature, limiting digital distraction, all of these practices create space for you to notice the subtle signals the universe is constantly sending. And the more you notice synchronicities, the more they increase because the universe sees that you are paying attention, and it increases the signal strength accordingly. One of the most powerful wealth synchronicities involves people entering your life at exactly the right moment. You need a business partner, and someone with perfect complementary skills appears seemingly out of nowhere. You need funding for a project, and you randomly meet someone who connects you to an investor. You need specific knowledge, and a mentor materializes just when you are ready to receive their guidance. These are not lucky breaks. These are frequency matches, your elevated consciousness attracting people who exist on the same timeline you are moving into. Pay close attention to who shows up in your life between now and October 3rd. The portal energies are already beginning to work, already rearranging circumstances, already bringing you into contact with the people and opportunities that will facilitate your wealth manifestation. But you must be present enough to recognize these divine appointments when they occur. You must be willing to have conversations with strangers, to follow intuitive nudges to go to certain places, to say yes to invitations that your logical mind might dismiss as unimportant. Synchronicities also appear in the form of repeated themes or symbols. You might keep encountering information about a specific industry, location, or type of investment. This repetition is not random. It is the universe trying to get your attention, pointing you toward an opportunity that is aligned with your abundance manifestation. Your higher self knows what paths will lead to your highest wealth expression, and it uses synchronicity to guide your conscious mind in that direction. Dreams become highly synchronistic during powerful manifestation periods. You might dream of specific amounts of money, of signing contracts, of celebrating success, of living in the abundance you desire. These dreams are not wishful fantasies created by your subconscious. They are glimpses into the timeline you are moving toward, preview screenings of the reality that is forming. The more vivid and emotionally charged these dreams are, the closer you are to manifesting the wealth they depict. Some people experience physical sensations as synchronicity signals, a sudden warmth in the chest when thinking about a particular opportunity, a tingling sensation when making a decision that is aligned with abundance, a feeling of expansion and lightness when on the right path versus a feeling of contraction and heaviness when moving in the wrong direction. Your body is an antenna receiving information from the quantum field, and these physical signals are part of the guidance system helping you navigate toward wealth. The most advanced form of synchronicity is what the Galactic Federation calls cascading synchronicities, where multiple related signs appear in rapid succession, creating an unmistakable pattern that confirms you are moving in the right direction. You might see a number sequence, then immediately hear a song with lyrics relevant to your situation, then receive a text message from someone you were just thinking about, then encounter an advertisement for exactly what you need. When synchronicities cascade like this, it means you are in a high-frequency flow state and manifestation is accelerating rapidly. Learning to trust synchronicities requires overcoming the rational mind's skepticism. Your logical brain will try to dismiss these signals as coincidence, as pattern recognition gone haywire, as your imagination seeing meaning where none exists. But your soul knows the truth. Your intuition recognizes when something is a genuine signal versus random chance. The more you honor these signals, the more you act on the guidance they provide, the stronger your synchronistic awareness becomes, and the more precisely the universe can communicate with you. Between now and October 3rd, I want you to keep a synchronicity journal. Write down every meaningful coincidence you notice, every number sequence you see repeatedly, every unexpected encounter that seems to carry significance. Do not analyze it too much in the moment. Just record it. Then review your journal periodically, and you will begin to see patterns, themes, and clear guidance emerging from what seemed like isolated incidents. The universe is guiding you toward your wealth manifestation with precision and care. Every synchronicity is a loving nudge in the right direction, a cosmic GPS recalculating your route whenever you veer off path. Your job is not to figure everything out mentally, not to control every detail of how abundance manifests. Your job is to notice the signs, trust the guidance, take inspired action when opportunities appear, and maintain the frequency that keeps you aligned with the prosperity timeline. The synchronicity codes are becoming more frequent and more obvious as October 3rd approaches. The veil is thinning, the communication between dimensions is becoming clearer, and the messages you receive will be increasingly direct and unmistakable. This is your cosmic support system fully activated, all of heaven working on your behalf to ensure you successfully navigate this portal and claim the abundance that is your birthright. Pay attention, stay present, trust what you perceive, and follow the breadcrumbs that are leading you home to prosperity. This is the final transmission from Ashtar Sheran before the portal opens, and what you are about to hear will determine not only your financial future, but the trajectory of your entire soul's journey on this planet. October 3rd is not an ending, it is a beginning. It is the moment when everything you have prepared for, everything you have worked toward, everything your soul agreed to accomplish in this incarnation begins to actualize in ways you can finally see and experience in physical reality. But there is something you must understand with absolute clarity. The portal activation is not a magic wand that will fix your life while you remain passive. It is a cosmic doorway that opens, and you must choose to walk through it. You must choose to claim the abundance waiting on the other side. You must choose to step into the higher timeline and never look back at the limited reality you are leaving behind. And most importantly, you must understand what comes after the activation, what your responsibilities are, what your mission becomes once you have successfully anchored the wealth frequencies. Ashtar speaks directly now to every member of the ground crew. You were not brought to this planet to simply enjoy abundance for yourself. You were not activated at this time just so you could buy luxury items and live comfortably while the world continues in chaos. You are here on a mission, and the wealth that flows to you through this portal is fuel for that mission. It is resources meant to be deployed strategically to raise consciousness, to help others awaken, to build the new earth that is emerging from the ashes of the old paradigm. This is why the universe can trust you with wealth when it cannot trust others. This is why the Galactic Federation has been working so intensely to ensure ground crew members receive the abundance activation. Because they know you will use the resources wisely, that you will invest in projects that serve humanity, that you will be generous with those who are struggling, that you will become a living example of what is possible when spiritual evolution and material prosperity work together in harmony. Your mission after October 3rd has multiple components, and understanding them now allows you to prepare mentally and emotionally for the level of responsibility that comes with the blessings you are about to receive. The first component is stabilization. When abundance begins flowing rapidly, when opportunities multiply, when money starts appearing from unexpected sources, there will be a temptation to become scattered, to chase every opportunity, to spend impulsively because finally you have access to resources you lacked before. You must resist this temptation with every fiber of your being. The initial influx of wealth is a test, an evaluation by the universe to see if you can handle more. If you squander it, if you let ego take over, if you lose your spiritual center in the excitement of material gain, the flow will slow or stop completely. But if you remain grounded, if you manage the initial abundance wisely, if you stay connected to your purpose and your guidance, the universe will increase the flow exponentially because it sees that you can be trusted with greater resources. Stabilization means creating systems that allow wealth to flow through you efficiently. It means working with financial advisors who understand both practical money management and energetic principles. It means investing wisely rather than spending frivolously. It means building sustainable income streams rather than depending on one-time windfalls. The wealth coming through the October 3rd portal is meant to be permanent, not temporary, but permanence requires that you build proper structures to contain and grow the abundance. The second component of your post-activation mission is expansion. Once you have stabilized your own financial reality, once you have proven you can maintain abundance consciousness and manage resources effectively, you enter the expansion phase where your impact grows exponentially. This is when you start funding projects that align with your soul's purpose, when you invest in businesses and initiatives that raise consciousness, when you become a benefactor for other lightworkers who need support to launch their missions. Expansion also means expanding your own capacity continuously. Just because you manifested a certain level of wealth does not mean you stop there. The universe is infinite, and there is no ceiling on how much abundance can flow through you if you continue raising your consciousness, clearing your blocks, and staying aligned with your purpose. Some ground crew members are meant to become multimillionaires. Some are meant to become billionaires. Not for ego, not for status, but because the scale of their mission requires that level of resource access. Do not place artificial limits on yourself, based on what you think you deserve or what seems reasonable to your current mind. Let the universe determine how much wealth you need to fulfill your mission, and be willing to receive at whatever scale is required. The old paradigm taught you to be small, to be humble, to not want too much. The new paradigm requires you to think bigger than you have ever thought before, to dream at scales that seem impossible, to trust that you are capable of managing and deploying massive resources for the highest good. The third component is teaching. Once you have successfully navigated your own wealth manifestation journey, once you have proven the principles work through your lived experience, you become a teacher and way shower for others. People will naturally be drawn to you, asking how you did it, wanting to understand the process, seeking guidance for their own abundance journey. This is part of your mission, to share what you have learned, to help others raise their consciousness and access their own prosperity. But you must teach from wisdom, not ego. You must share your journey authentically, including the challenges and the inner work required, not just the end results. Too many people in the manifestation and abundance space teach from a place of spiritual bypassing, pretending everything was easy, glossing over the deep transformation that was actually necessary. This does a disservice to those who are learning, who then feel like failures when they cannot manifest instantly without doing the inner work. Your teaching mission is not necessarily about starting a course or building a coaching business, although it might include that if it aligns with your gifts. More importantly, it is about being a living example, embodying the principles so completely that your energy field teaches without words. When people are in your presence, they feel what is possible. They sense the frequency of abundance. They begin to believe that they too can create this reality. This is teaching at the highest level, transmission of consciousness itself. The fourth component is protection. As you rise in frequency, as you become visibly abundant, as you step into your power more fully, you will face resistance from forces that do not want humanity to awaken. These forces operate in both physical and energetic dimensions. On the physical level, you might encounter jealousy, criticism, people trying to manipulate or take advantage of you. On the energetic level, you might experience attacks on your energy field, attempts to drain your resources, or interference with your mission. Protection is not about fear or paranoia. It is about conscious awareness and energetic boundaries. It means being discerning about who you allow into your inner circle. It means protecting your energy field through daily practices. It means not broadcasting all of your abundance publicly in ways that make you a target. It means staying humble and grounded even as your wealth grows, remembering that the resources are flowing through you, not to you, and that you are a steward, not an owner. Ashtar emphasizes that the Galactic Federation will provide protection for ground crew members who are fulfilling their mission authentically. But you must also take responsibility for your own energetic hygiene, for maintaining high frequency, for not engaging with lower consciousness drama that attempts to pull you down. Your continued access to the portal frequencies depends on your ability to maintain the elevated state you achieve on October 3rd. The fifth component of your mission is legacy. Everything you build, every life you touch, every project you fund, every consciousness shift you facilitate, it all contributes to a legacy that extends far beyond your individual lifetime. You are part of the team that is literally transforming Earth from a third-dimensional prison planet into a fifth-dimensional paradise. The work you do now, the way you use your abundance now, it sets the template for generations to come. Think in terms of long-term impact, not short-term gratification. Build things that will outlast you, that will continue raising consciousness long after you have transitioned from this physical form. Invest in projects that have ripple effects, that create positive change exponentially. Use your wealth to heal the planet, to support innovative solutions to human suffering, to fund technologies and systems that align with the new paradigm rather than the old. Your legacy is also the frequency you leave in the morphic field, the energetic imprint of your consciousness that becomes available for others to access. Every time you successfully manifest abundance, every time you maintain high frequency despite challenges, every time you use your resources to serve the highest good, you are creating a pathway in consciousness that makes it easier for the next person to follow. You are literally changing the collective field, making abundance consciousness more accessible to all of humanity. The final component that Ashtar wants to emphasize is remembrance. After October 3rd, as your life transforms, as abundance flows, as opportunities multiply, it will be easy to forget where you came from, to forget the struggles you endured, to forget the desperation you felt when you did not know how you would survive financially. You must actively remember, not to dwell in the past, but to maintain compassion for those who are still where you once were. Never look down on people who are struggling financially. Never assume they are just not doing the work or not conscious enough. Remember that you were there too, that it took time for you to learn these principles, that you needed support and guidance on your journey. Be for others what you wished someone had been for you. Be generous not just with money, but with your time, your knowledge, your encouragement. Lift others up not because they deserve it or earned it, but because you remember what it feels like to be in the darkness hoping for light. This remembrance keeps you grounded, keeps your heart open, keeps you connected to the human experience even as you evolve beyond the limitations most humans accept as normal. It ensures that your wealth does not create separation, but rather becomes a bridge, a means of connection, a tool for bringing others along on the journey of awakening and abundance. God has one final message for you as we close this transmission. You are loved beyond measure. You are supported by forces you cannot see, but that are working tirelessly on your behalf. You are worthy of every blessing that is about to flow into your life. You are ready for this mission, even if you do not feel ready. You are capable of handling the abundance, even if you doubt yourself. And you are never alone, not for one moment, not ever. October 3rd is the beginning of everything your soul has been waiting for, working toward, preparing for across lifetimes. The portal is opening. The frequencies are activating. The abundance is flowing. And you, beautiful soul divine being, member of the ground crew, you are about to step into your true power and claim the reality that has always been your destiny. Walk through the portal with courage. Claim your abundance with confidence. Step into your mission with commitment. And never, ever doubt that you belong in the prosperity timeline, that you deserve unlimited wealth, that you are meant for greatness. Because you are. And very soon the entire world will see what you have always been. If this message resonated with you, if you feel the truth of these words in your soul, leave a comment below sharing what shifted for you. Tell us what you are manifesting. Declare your commitment to walking through the portal. Your words have power, and when you speak your intention into existence, you activate it in the quantum field. We are all in this together, and your testimony might be exactly what someone else needs to hear, to find the courage to claim their own abundance. Comment now, and let your voice be heard.